Mr. Keyser, we also discovered up here that you wrote for LA Law, and he'd seen that one. So I just want to make you feel better.
Chairman Klobuchar, Ranking Member Lee, I forgive you for not being a fan of my work. You're not alone. And members of the subcommittee.
I want to make clear, I'm sure it's a great show.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today. My name is Christopher Keyser, and I am the president of the Writers Guild of America West. I've been a working television writer, as you said, for 25 years. On behalf of my guild, I've come here today to speak against the AT&T DirecTV merger, and because I can't help myself, here is a story. The writers I represent, more than 8,000 of them, and the members of our sister guild, the Writers Guild of America East, write feature films and local news. But what matters in this conversation is that we also create virtually all of the scripted programming that you watch on television now, or through video services such as Netflix and Amazon, and that'll become important in a minute. That programming is, at this moment, the most influential creative product in the country and indeed in the world. Nothing has the power and the reach of television. But 2 decades of mergers and consolidation have reduced a once vibrant market of diverse and independent production to the point now where 7 companies own 95% of what you watch on TV. Networks and studios have become one. They control both content and delivery. They determine what I am allowed to write and what you are allowed to watch. Into that world, only recently has come the internet. And suddenly, the internet has opened up a possibility of enormous new content and creativity. A host of new voices, new content creators, new distributors. Potentially, this is the most exciting time for audiences and writers, anyone who cares about diversity and the vibrancy of the creative output of this country. It's a very American thing, which brings us back to the merger. It is no accident that a flurry of mergers is occurring in response to the potential democratization of the entertainment industry. The largest multi-channel video programming distributors and internet service providers have every reason to fear and every incentive to limit the growth of online video competition that could threaten its dominance. If this merger and the Comcast merger are approved, the 2 resulting companies will control more than half of the MVPD subscribers and half of the wired internet access market. They will have unprecedented power to control the content that passes to you. So what do we know that will happen as a result? Well, we know, because they have said so, that they will use their power to force content providers to accept below-market rates for their product. It is a stated goal of the merger to reduce affiliate fees. So the problem is that these fees have fueled the recent boom in creative programming, particularly on cable. And reduce those fees through the outsized power of monopoly, and the result is less creativity, less product, and less innovation. The second thing we should fear, and of which we can be virtually certain, is that a combined AT&T DirecTV will follow in the footsteps of Comcast and use its power to discriminate against unaffiliated video content providers. AT&T has already said that it's in favor of paid prioritization. Because when you control access to 50% of consumers, those who want to deliver their products are so beholden to you that they cannot afford to refuse your conditions. And those who cannot or do not pay will find their products, metaphorically, on the hidden shelves in the back corner of the store. Because the power to control the pipeline actually trumps the power to create, it brings with it the power to undermine the revolutionary quality of the internet itself. And that is precisely the issue the FCC is dealing with today. Look, one thing we know as writers is that character is destiny. And the character of these companies is not in doubt. You do not gain access to half of the market without prioritizing your shareholders over the American people. As Comcast, Time Warner beget AT&T DirecTV, so too will this merger beget more consolidation in response. And then the merger of content creators, desperate for leverage against 2 powerful distributors, will come in time. They are already in the air. Eventually, these behemoths of video distribution will seek, as every incumbent media giant has before in history, to own its own content or to produce or to buy other content providers. And the internet, which might have been a new frontier, will become like broadcast television before it. And those of us who write for a living, who love stories and the vibrant marketplace of ideas, who believe that a culture is defined at least in part by the quality of the art it creates, who believe in the American ideal of limitless voices, will mourn a missed opportunity. We've seen this story before. We begin it again today. And we may believe, or some may tell you, that this time we can change the ending. But as a writer, I know this much. If you put the butler in line to inherit and you give him a candlestick in the drawing room, someone is going to end up dead by the last act. I have come here today to ask that regulators make the right choice, one that serves the public interest, and deny these mergers. Thank you for your attention. I look forward to your questions.